Okay, this is a big one. Deprogramming from whatever happened to you as a child. A lot of us carry forth with us internally in our body the things that happened to us when we were young, early relationships with men, early relationships with women, and how our parents treated us. Now, in many ways, the people that bring us into the world, they shape our value systems in a big, big way. In many cases, that are with humans for a lifetime, whether it be religion, whether it be politics, or how to interact with people that we're in relationships with. Now, this is not the time or place to tell my life story, but eventually I will be writing an autobiography, but I feel that there's more life that I need to experience before releasing such private information as to how I embarked on the path that I'm currently on. But I will say this. I'm half Afghan, half white. Okay, my father came here in 1967, met my mom in 77. I came out of the womb February 25th, 1980. My parents divorced promptly afterwards, and I'm convinced that they only came together to conceive me. And there aren't that many people that are of these two bloodlines, very ancient bloodlines, on both my mother and my father's side. But I've learned more things about the world through my parents, and certainly what I don't want to be a part of, and certainly what is not my value system. And both of my parents attempted to torture me emotionally, psychologically, and in my father's case, physically, not sexually, but "You're my son, you are my property." And so I have gone through this purging in my own life of things that may be even ancestral in my body, dealing with control coming from his side. And so I have learned that many times parents will affect and torture the child because of things that went wrong in their relationship, in their marriage. Now, my mother was very spiritual to a degree, and I have been told firmly to never speak of her on video, so I will do it with respect, and I love my mother very much. However, I do have to say that I have gone through lots of levels in my own life of trying to heal trauma, in many cases that deals with women, because she tortured me in so many ways and corrected me. I'm correcting you. I'm your mother. I am your dictator. I am your god or goddess. I control you. You are inadequate. I am here to show you the light. You must do as I say. So it was like a fundamentalist version of New Age and metaphysical thought. It was very warped and very much out of balance. And as I grew older and embarked on this path, being a light worker, but also being a researcher into many of the things that are going on right now in these groups that are suppressing the human species, I have gone through many multiple experiences of feeling the abandonment through my mother of, no, that doesn't resonate with me, Alex. We're all just going to ascend up to the heavens come this certain point in time, and we're going to be saved, and we're just going to watch it all go down from the spacecrafts. You're putting out bad information. And then there's my father, the one from Afghanistan, the one that became a translator for all these groups that are involved in the Middle East and traveling alongside NATO and U.S. forces. The same year I became involved in the 9/11 Truth Movement, my father has gone the way of serving the dark side. So I come from a reality, a world, a life experience, where I myself am having to go through lots of self-healing because of what I experienced, things that I don't feel comfortable talking about here in this video. But the point is that we all have trauma, we all got drama, we all got stuff, and in order for us to heal and evolve, and most of all heal our relationships with others, have conscious relationships where there is love, there's not resentment or a desire to be controlled or to control. We have to heal what happened to us if there's something there. And so I have learned that it is important to not carry what happened with you before to your relationships, because the people in these relationships, it's not their role, it's not their job to be your healer. Now, that is a powerful part of relationships, but we need to be able to heal ourselves and to end a cycle of abuse. I remember my father attempting to be very physical with me and throw me against the wall, and I remember never striking him, but with both hands my strength being more powerful than his strength, pushing him off of me, his hands around my neck, and watching him fall on his ass. It was actually quite comical. He was very drunk. And this is really a metaphor for pushing the energy out of our field for whatever they are trying to do to us. And it's unfortunate that there are so many abusive parents in this world, some fathers that sexually abuse their daughters, and mothers that psychologically torture and abuse their male sons because of resentment for the father. Unfortunately, this is a very sick part of the human condition, and we have to realize that we have to live our own lives and care for ourselves even if it did not come from our parents, and develop a sense of self-worth. And so I encourage you, if there's something there, to start to heal those wounds, because it's absolutely necessary that you do so in order to become the person that you actually are inside. It's not really a matter of developing a new personality or anything like that, but tearing down the layers of the onion and getting to the core of who you are, that bright light that shines inside of you, and not letting any trauma from the past or the present suppress that spiritual power that you have. There could be perhaps reasons why some of our parents tortured us when we were young that we don't fully understand. I don't believe that this is the only life that we have lived, and there are more than one reason or theory as to why we have the parents that we have. And some say that we pick our parents before we come to this planet in order to work out karma. But what I learned early on, when I was 16, 17, 18, when I first got involved in meditation and really gravitated towards the Four Noble Truths and the Eight Noble Path of Buddhism, even though I'm not a religious person, I found those spiritual concepts to be very pertinent and relevant in my life at that time, to not be attached to the suffering that we experience in this lifetime, because just focusing on the suffering and responding to it just creates more of it, and the expectation that life be a certain way. Sometimes we go through trauma in order for the real us to come out as a result of what's happening to us. And I relate this reality, this truth, to what's going on in the world. We're going through these things, but really there's a becoming. We're becoming who we are as a collective and as individuals as a result of the crises that we're facing in this world, the chaos. Well, I remember developing also a belief system that we just can't trust anybody. The world is dangerous. You have to be on guard. And that was the first part of my awakening. And there was some truth in that, but there's not full truth in just walking around the world being afraid and not trusting people and shutting off your heart chakra, because that's going to affect your relationships and your life down the road, because we are co-creators in this reality. And so I went through a period where I went through a lot of trauma and went through a lot of self-abuse and medication through certain substances, and was also aided by a certain premonition that something very dark was about to happen to the world, and so I was choosing ways of escaping, and that was around 99, 2000, 2001, which I believe was a major shift in energy, a cycle leading up to the cycle that we're in right now. And so when 9/11 happened, other events happened, I started remembering, oh, this is why I felt those feelings, and then healing began to take place. And so as long as we're carrying these things and what happened to us, it's always going to follow us into other realms. Now, through the abandonment issues that I have with my mother and kicking me out on my 15th birthday and then moving across the sea, the land to New York City. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and so is my mother, the Oregon area. I actually grew up in Aurora, Oregon, 30 miles south of Portland. Because I never had any sisters, and I was always moving around from school to school, and I was pushed around from parent to parent, I never developed a relationship with something that I would call a real mother or a sister. And because I'm a conspiracy analyst and I'm into all these different things, it does alienate me from the bulk of the female population that's currently living on the earth. Many humans on the earth right now are under a form of hypnosis and mind control, and many of them do resent those that are light workers unless they are also at that frequency and also able to love And so there's a lot of trauma in the world from not only things happen in the world, but from the parental value systems that have been given to people. And so I'm here to testify that you are more powerful than whatever happened to you when you were young. And myself, living half Afghan, half white in this reality, a world where there are millions of my kind being murdered, and both of my parents have literally divorced me because of my outspoken nature and the fact that I resisted their abuse. I have walked this earth alone for a very long time. And it is overwhelming for other females when they hear my story to have compassion or love for me, other than Facebook and likes and private messages and things of that nature, because when they meet me, sometimes when they ask me about my life and I openly share, because I cannot lie, I cannot tell a lie, George Washington, no, I'm very honest. I'm very honest, and sometimes I overshare. And unfortunately, if you hold on to that and you share that, unless they're in a ability where they can heal certain things or trauma, they're not going to want to have anything to do with you or to do with me because it's overwhelming what had happened. And many women that have been abused by their fathers, they have issues with men and with trust. So I understand that. I have great empathy for that because my level of abuse was very deeply psychologically ingrained. So when we look at the world and when we look at consciousness, we need to shed old belief systems, and we need to let go of emotional trauma. We need to let go of post-traumatic stress disorder. And we are going to have to find ways of healing ourselves, and it's not going to be done through other people or external relationships. We oftentimes have to heal ourselves to receive the love and appear non-threatening to those that would give us love, because we are also coexisting in a world of other humans, many other humans that have been psychologically tortured, emotionally scarred on some level, and because there are many humans who have had their spirits broken from living in this world, instead of becoming stronger, then they're going to turn away from any experience with someone that is still carrying things from their past. I mean, there are a lot of men that are not able to really break through and touch a woman's heart who's been raped and abused by men her entire life. But we also have to keep in mind the law of attraction, to stop attracting certain things into our life: abandonment, hatred, resentment. There's sometimes reasons why we keep attracting the same things over and over and over again. So we have to live in the now. We have to live in the current reality. We cannot live in the past. Forgiveness is very important. When I think about forgiveness and I think about some of the hardest things to forgive, it's easier almost to forgive the New World Order and the Kissingers of the world and the tyrannical dictators of the world, because I understand they're playing their role as the predator on this earth, and we are supposed to evolve as a result of the challenges that we're facing. But it's harder sometimes to forgive parents and forgive them for the levels of psychological torture that they put us through, because it is affecting our current relationships. Start loving yourself. Start aligning yourself with the true woman, the true man that you actually are, and eliminate any obstacles that's either in your path or in your body that's preventing such growth from manifestation, from taking place. There are a lot of people that have gone through these things, and by being able to talk about it and also relate it to the world situation is a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing to speak openly and honestly about who you are and what you are. But you need to develop your own value systems, understanding of spirit consciousness, the Creator or God consciousness, Christ consciousness, that is completely separate from that which you were given as a child. We have to be our own teacher. We have to be our own guide. We have to accept our role as an angel in boot camp, because I think that's what this earth experience is all about. We can handle trauma, we can handle danger, we can handle negativity, and we can output positivity. As a result, we can become more loving than what our parents directed towards us. And there are many men that become good fathers just to counter the negativity of what their fathers had done to them. And hopefully sometime in this lifetime, I will also experience such a reality as well. I'd like to thank you for watching.